Hi, this is Far from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to make a card. I want to make a card for somebody at church, and I'm using this saying from May that says, "The service that you perform is not only supplying the needs of the Lord's people, but also overflowing in many expression of thanks to God." And this is by 2 Corinthians 9, chapter 9, verse 12. And the individual that we're making this card for, he always volunteers and creates dishes for us. And so I wanted to create a nice card, and I'm also going to show you a trick with this card because it's going to be a lot of people that are going to sign it. So I made like a little booklet. So I have these stamps that they look like forks, spoons, and it also says menu. Plus I'm going to be using this 3D embossing folder by Crafter's Companion, and this is the swirl, Regency swirl. And I want to use that to emboss the white cardstock. And actually it's the white pearlescent cardstock that came with the kit from HSN, and that's what I'm using here. So for these embossing folders, you want to use the A plate, and then you want to use just one B plate, or actually the C plate is what I'm using, and you run it through. And because the cardstock from Crafter's Companion just has the right thickness, it really works well. But you have to experiment. If you buy these embossing folders, you do have to experiment with the different papers, because some thinner papers you're going to have to make a thicker sandwich. And if you're using the paper from Crafter's Companion, which I think it's pretty heavy cardstock, you can get away with using the A plate in the Cuttlebug and the C plate. So here I'm putting these stamp, spoon, and fork. I cut these out, and I want to put them on the front of the card. And instead of saying menu, I'm going to go ahead and put that little strip that says thank you. Now I wanted to compose it. I wanted to make sure that I like the placement of everything. So I'm using my stamping tool that I created with some magnets, and I'm trying to use it so I can audition all my pieces and see where I want to put the cardstock or the stamps, where I want to put my ribbon, and just how I want to place everything before I place it down. And then these little leaves are the Martha Stewart little punch that I bought some time ago, and to me they look like either rosemary, tarragon, you know, it looks like some type of herb. So that's why I wanted to use it on this card, because I thought it will be fitting for it. How I cut the paper, the silver paper is 5x7, and the white paper I cut it a little shy of 5x7. I think I cut it maybe 4 and 3/4 by 6 and 3/4. You just want to cut it a little smaller than 5x7, so it will fit in on top of the silver layer. I'm using glue adhesive because, of course, there's a lot of rigids on this layer. It's embossed, so I want to make sure it adheres nicely on this card. So that's why I use liquid glue, because to me liquid glue really gets into the crevices and really adheres well. Plus the cardstock that I'm using, that silver cardstock, is part of Crafter's Companion cardstock, and it's very thick, and you really need to make sure you have good adhesive, otherwise it's not going to adhere well. So here I'm just, as you can see, I'm just making sure that it really is adhering well on my panel. And I'm just making sure that I put it, stapling it as well, because I wanted to staple the ribbon to make sure it doesn't come off. And I got a little bit of glue on the silver part there, and I wanted to make sure I clean that up because I want to make sure that the silver really shines. So now I'm ready to put down my fork and my spoon. I'm going to use liquid adhesive again because that helps really adhere these pieces down nicely on this embossed paper. And then the spoon. And I like that that label is just, I don't want it to say menu. So that's why I went ahead and cut a strip. Actually, I stamped that thank you. It's from Altenew, one of their stamp kits. And I'll put the name of the stamp that it has all these thank you. It came with that stamp. It also came with some flower stamps, the watercolor flowers or painted flowers, I think was the name of it. I'll put all the material that I use on the description of this video, so that way in case you do want to get that, you can look at it and get it. So then I put that some foam adhesive on the thank you because I like how that kind of made it pop. And now I'm creating my booklet. So I'm using my stamp board by We Are Memories, and I'm stamping down making the little booklet, making sure that I have where I want to put the staple, which is right in the center where the fold line is. And I love this punch board because it really works well for these projects, especially anywhere you can stamp or you can staple anywhere in the page and it works nicely. So now I'm ready to go ahead and stamp the sentiment, and it says friend, and it has to do with the service that he performs at church. We just want to thank him for those services. Positioning my stamp, and of course I'm going to use my stamping tool because I want to make sure that if it doesn't stamp nicely on my booklet, that I can repeat the stamping again and make sure it's nice and dark. And I'm doing it 3 times because of course my Memento ink pad is dry, so I want to make sure that you can really read it. And if you're looking for faith-based stamps, definitely visit May Made It website. She has a lot of beautiful faith stamps. And that's what I've been using lately for all my cards that I give to members at my church. I really am using all her stamps, and I just put another order for some more stamps that had to do with praying for somebody because they're sick. And I got another one for thank you, and also some inspirational stamps about service and trusting God. So I really love these stamps. And plus, she doesn't really charge an arm and a leg for them. They're very reasonable. They're $13 and you get a lot of stamps, and then the little ones it's less than that. So I really like them. So here I'm making sure that I put some double adhesive tape because I want to make sure that that adheres very well, because as you can see, the card layer does have a little curve to it. So by putting that double adhesive ribbon and then putting adhesive on there, it really makes it stay. And I'm actually crafting with my sister. That's why I have to dub over the video. But I'm crafting with my sister. She's on the iPad, and I was showing her the card. But I'm going to show you the card a little closer. So I hope you like this video, and I'm giving you some ideas of some nice cards that you can create for your for members of your church, or when you need to create a card for work that there's a lot of people that are going to sign the card. You create a little booklet and then use that for your card. And there's plenty of space for everybody to sign. So I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching. Bye now.